Hi, I'm Randy Downs with Carolina International Trucks, and we're here in Columbia, South Carolina to do a bit of a walk around on the 2015 International DuraStar. Talk a little bit about why the DuraStar was designed and with what tenets in mind. For owners, the cost of ownership was the main concern, drivers, comfort, safety, and for the maintainers, the ability to have synchronized maintenance intervals and ease of pre-trip and things like that. So we'll walk into it. The DuraStar has a GVW range from $17,999 in a low profile application up to a tandem in 54,000 GVW with a 14 front and 40 rear. Powertrains available. The newest powertrain is the ISB, the Cummins ISB, and it ranges from 200 horsepower at 520 foot-pounds of torque all the way up to 325 horsepower at 750 foot-pounds of torque. We still have the DT offering for a while at 215 horsepower up to 260 horsepower in various torque ranges. I want to draw your attention to begin with the front of the vehicle. The vehicle's designed with looks in mind and image in mind. As you can see, it's an aerodynamic hood. It is a large frontal area on the windshield. The grille is standard in chrome, and the bumper, you can get a bumper and a painted bumper wraparound, or you can get a chrome. It is a one-piece bumper so that you don't have a three-piece that you take apart and have to mess with brackets for various sections of the bumper and mounting bolts. So it's a simpler one-piece bumper. As you can see, we'll show you in a minute, but the radiator sits down below, in between the frame rails, so that you can have a low rake on the hood. Again, it's a visibility issue for driver capability. One of the important things about when I talk about drivers and pre-trips is the low amount of effort it takes to pull this hood over. It has a torsion bar on it, and this torsion bar works both directions. It makes it easy to pull up this way, and it doesn't allow it to slam as well. If you step around here to this side of the vehicle, in the engine compartment, this is the ISB. In order to, when I was talking about maintaining the vehicle, there are things, for example, the headlights, as you can see, are standard halogen headlights with polymer covers, but you don't have to take the covers out and the headlights out to change them. You can reach in here, no tools necessary, and take the bulbs out one at a time in here. So it makes, again, ease of maintenance. Splash guards are standard on the truck. This one is attached to the hood, so it goes out of the way. On the passenger side, it comes off with a few bolts to work on the vehicle. If you look, they've positioned everything to where you can be on the ground to check it. Whether it's, that one needs to be turned in, whether it's the oil fill or transmission fluid, whether it's coolant, whether it's power steering fluid, everything's in either in a reachable position or in a translucent scenario to where you can look through it from the ground and not have to be taking things apart or climbing up, more importantly, climbing up on the wheel. This cab, as we talk a little bit about the cab, Navistar's, one of their qualities is their cab. Their cabs are built within a 1 millimeter tolerance, and when they build them, and they build them very square, and they use the least amount of perforations as possible in the cab. And a couple things that helps with. One, that helps with corrosion scenarios, but the other thing it helps with is sound. It's a very quiet cab. So we've always had high marks for our cab. We also, when we finish our cab, we have a three-step process. It's galvanized, coated, and primed, and then it is after that it's base coated and clear coated. So it's a combination process that gives us a high appearance quality at the as the vehicle gets older, the paint doesn't fade, and it gives you that image that you're looking for. The hood, if you'll look here, the hood is talking about ease of maintainability. If you were to have an accident on a quarter or front fender of the hood, this hood can actually be debonded on both sides and fixed in sections. And also in the grill, the grill's really easy to remove. It's a single one-piece grill with just a few bolts and clips, and it comes out. As we go down the side of the vehicle, Navistar is now standard with aluminum tanks. They're D-shaped tanks, and the reason they're D-shaped is so they don't have that opportunity to turn as a round tank would in a chassis. You can see, but also because of that, they're able to stair step the entry steps on the vehicle. They're staggered in a stair step fashion, which lends itself to entry and egress for the driver, more safety for the driver. As you move down the frame rails, DuraStar standard frame is 120,000 psi with various RBMs. That's compared to the average of about 110,000 psi, so it gives us the ability to use a single rail, not having a rail with a reinforcement in it that would give areas for corrosion and rust. As we move toward the back, we've got various rear axle configurations. Like I said, we go up to a tandem axle in a 40,000 EBW range. They are variable rate rear springs. We have an IROS suspension available as well if you had an air ride application. It gives you great stability. So moving back up toward the cab. Well, let me talk about the mirror here for just a second. As we talk about the exterior and again maintainability of the truck, all these components are powder coated. As you can see, these hood mirrors and this mirror here is powder coated. They're also collapsible mirrors. In the instance that the driver might have an accident, it would fold the mirror in as opposed to rip the door apart. So you don't have progressive door damage if he clips a mirror. As you open the cab, again talking about driver safety, this has an exterior grab handle what's available. This is a standard grab handle inside, and that keeps it out of the way and keeps it from being slick. And then you've got the grab handle up here to be in the vehicle, to get into the vehicle, and it's it really is a standard. So you got a 3-point entry and exit into the cab, and again there's stair step entry steps to get up into the cab. And then you got you talk about some of the interior features of the cab. We're as far as the industry's concerned, we've got more shoulder space, more head space, more belly space than most of the competitors. We have an optional tilt and telescoping wheel. They paid a lot of attention to what the driver was doing when he was in the cab, so they positioned the buttons close to the driver's reach. Standard cruise control on these trucks, and they put the most frequently used buttons on the dash, or on the steering wheel rather. In this case, this is a standard cubby, so you got lots of storage space on both the passenger side and driver's side, in the middle for a radio if you wanted to put a two-way radio in. As far as transmission offerings are concerned, we have a manual transmission offering, of course, but we also offer the Allison automatics and the Eaton Ultra shifts. This particular cab has a air ride driver's seat and a two-man passenger seat. They also have an offering for a full bench seat, but probably the air ride driver and the two-seat passenger seat is the most popular configuration. Our air conditioning system is again class leading. We actually have a air conditioning protection system that would be the equivalent to the APAD system with the competitors. And in the instance that the air compressor sees that it's either leaking coolant or pressure, it'll shut down, and that leaves you the ability to keep from having to have progressive damage to the components like the dryers and the evaporators. So once that system shuts down, you're in a protection mode. And to get that from the competition, you have to spec the APAD system. The other thing in the cab is standard wing vent windows. We do offer, like everybody else, power windows, power locks. This particular truck has manual window regulators. This truck is equipped with a Diamond Logic electrical system, and that's a fully multiplex system that DuraStar's had for a number of years. What that allows you to do is run several different signals over a set of twisted pair of wires, so that you don't have, it reduces your wiring in your wiring harness by about 40%. So you can send several signals over the same set of wires. As a result, it gives you some safety features that Diamond Logic offers, and it gives you some advanced features when it comes to body mounting and interaction with the bodies. In this particular case, there's a couple features on here. This truck is set up with a feature that will toot the horn if you get out of the truck and don't set the air brakes. It toots the service horn. It also has a feature for, it's called pre-trip inspection. And by pushing this button here, the lights on the truck will flash on and off. We'll get out and I'll show you. These lights on the vehicle, including the body, will flash on and off so a driver can do a pre-inspection without having to have two people to do a pre-trip inspection. Hopefully that helps long-term in the safety aspect when it comes to CSA rating. All the way to the back. The only lights that don't flash are the reverse lights on the vehicle. Diamond Logic also gives you the ability to interact with the body in various applications, whether it be digger derricks or whether it be PTO applications, or in this case a reefer. Diamond Logic is set up with remote power modules, and those remote power modules give the bodybuilder an entry into the wiring harness so that they're not hacking into the wiring harness and scotch locking into the wiring harness. And then you get into a scenario where you have a failure. If they're using our RPMs, we can see the electrical system from the front of the vehicle to the back of the vehicle. So there's no guesswork and no finger pointing when it comes to warranty as to whose problem it is. It also gives us some safety capabilities. As I mentioned, for example, the parking brake's not set, the service horn will beep, but it'll also kick out a PTO under certain scenarios. And if a guy has a PTO engaged and he goes down the road, after you can set it to various speeds. If it gets up to 5 miles an hour, it'll kick the PTO out. You can also set it to kick it back in if he slows down below a certain speed, or to stay off. So it gives you some capability to do some things, smart things with bodies. One of the applications that probably is most frequently used is outriggers. If you got a truck that has outriggers and the riggers don't get stored, then the vehicle won't move. When you put it in gear, it won't move because the Diamond Logic system knows that the outriggers are still out. Standard halogen headlights. LED lights are available for the cab and for the rear. You can have a sun shield, a painted sun shield on this truck as well. Is an offering. You can get an Argent grill, but the chrome, as I said, the chrome's a standard grill. Overall, Navistar spent a lot of time trying to hit those tenets of being lowest cost of ownership for the owner, best truck to maintain, lowest cost of maintaining, and a driver truck, something the driver would enjoy taking care of and going down the road and being safe.